Good noon, Foundry. My name is Pastor K.C. I am an associate pastor and director of family ministries at Foundry, and I am so excited to be with you today for this good noon. As always, I get to be the one to recommend worship to you. Yesterday, the Reverend Jenny Phillips came and preached the gospel. It was an impassioned challenge to us at Foundry. And I don't know about you, but I felt ready to sort of make some better personal choices with regard to earth justice and to recommit to the long-term work of environmental justice and acting against climate change. We did Earth Day bags yesterday for families and had a good turnout, and that was awesome. Inside those Earth Day bags is a pledge card. I don't have one to show you, but there's a pledge card for families to make a pledge for the year. For us in the Van Beer household, our pledge includes sustainable, like bamboo toilet paper. So that's what we've switched to. It's called Real. And shout out to our new director of digital engagement, Kaylin. She is the one who recommended that to me, and I love it. First of all, the toilet paper is great. I'm like doing a sales pitch for Real right now. But the toilet paper is great, and it's sustainably sourced, and it's, like I said, it's bamboo, it's tree-free toilet paper. And they also, a portion of their proceeds go to developing toilets for folks around the world who don't have access to toilets. So there's that. Subtle plug for Real. They should sponsor this. They really should. Anyway, that's the Van Beer pledge. That's what we're doing for this year. And so, yeah, I encourage you to make your own Earth Day pledge, whether it be personal or, like I said, recommitment to the long-term work. All of that is good. All of that is good. Well, it is. It's so good to see you. Feels like it's been a while since I've seen you, and it's just good to be with you today. I am just personally, Greg, my partner, took a job here locally. So he was working remotely from his job in Tennessee when we moved, and he took a job here, and it requires him to go into work. And so we've been living in a new existence for the past week that involves kids home all the time with no help and managing work and all sorts of things. So yeah, it's been a different life, but it's good to be back with you. As I was doing some devotional time this morning, I just felt really drawn to the Psalms. And there's one Psalm in particular that always seems to offer me something really powerful. And so I wanted to share that Psalm with you. I come back to it time and time and time again. There's a moment in my life where this Psalm really pulled me through. Like, it really pulled me through. It was a struggle. And I don't know if you experience this, but if you're ever in moments in your life that you're just hanging on, you feel like you're just hanging on, like life is happening to you. That's kind of the moment that I was in. And this Psalm just really spoke to me and continues to speak to me. So I'm going to read it together for us, and I'll invite you into a space of reflection, into a posture that feels comfortable. If you're in a space of mind to be able to receive, then I'll invite you into receptive posture where you can, open your hands. However you want to receive this word today, I invite you to do so. This is Psalm 91. You who dwell in the shelter of the Most High and pass the night in the shadow of Shaddai, say, Yahweh, my refuge and my mountain fortress, my God in whom I trust. For Yahweh says, I will rescue you from the snare and shield you from poisoned arrows. I will cover you with my pinions. Under my wings you will take refuge. My faithfulness will shield you. You have no need to fear the prowlers of the night or the arrow that flies by day, the plague that lurks in the shadows, or the scourge that stalks at noon. Though 1,000 fall at your left side and 10,000 at your right, it will never come near you. You will see it pass you by and witness the punishment of the corrupt with your own eyes. Because you have made me your refuge and have me as your stronghold, no evil will befall you, and no disaster will come near your tent. For I will command my angels to guard you wherever you go. They'll carry you in their hands so you don't hurt your foot on a stone. You'll tread on the young lion as easily as one does a cobra. You'll trample down both lion and serpent. Because you love me, I will deliver you. I will rescue you because you acknowledge my name. You will call upon me and I will answer you. I will be with you in trouble. I will deliver you and honor you. I will satisfy you with the long life, and I will show you my salvation. This is the word of the Lord. Thinking about God as refuge, receiving what it means for God to be a refuge. When things are happening all around us, when some of us are dealing with mental health, some of us are dealing with addiction, some of us are dealing with grief and loss and financial struggles and family turmoil. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. Sometimes what I find myself wanting or needing is a refuge. To feel, I mean, sometimes, right, it's self-preservation, to feel like I'm in control of something, to be able to be in a space where it feels like I said earlier, like life isn't happening to me, that I'm happening to it. It almost never works that way, though. So that's just a moment of confession. It almost never works that way. But what I do find myself wanting and seeking is a refuge. And sometimes we find refuge or seek to find refuge in anything but God. And I know that's true for me. I've sought refuge in all kinds of things, in escape, in sort of like viciously seeking control. Like that is my refuge, to find control and to harness it and to bring it back so that I am no longer at the mercy of everything that's happening. Yeah, and so that feels like a refuge to me. But what I think is actually kind of beautiful is that this refuge here in Psalm 91, dwelling in the shadow of the Most High, dwelling in the shelter of the Most High. It's a place to come to be covered by God's love, to be able to hear God more intimately. I know for me too, like when I'm experiencing all the things that are happening at one time, it's really hard for me to hear God's voice. I think that's probably a byproduct, not necessarily like, oh, I can't hear God's voice, so let me go and like, shelter with the Most High. I mean, sure. I mean, I think that's definitely appropriate. But for me, in my experience, what it feels like is, oh, right, I've been trying to seek refuge and find refuge in anything but God. And to hear this psalm and to be reminded that God brings us closer as a way of protecting us and holding us, as a way of saying, me too. And it just, for me, sometimes it's also hard to hear God when I don't feel safe, right? Like, so seeking safety or seeking refuge or seeking protection in God sometimes frees us up to be able to hear God's voice. I guess this is a chicken egg conversation. It doesn't really have to be, but it's both and. It's always both and. But I do think there is something to this idea of God as refuge, and it's something I, a year into a pandemic hadn't really made a direct connection with. And so anyway, I just felt like I needed Psalm 91 this morning. And when I came to it, it hit me in a different way, as it always does, and reminded me that that God is here and that God is available if we just seek her and if we just find her, or if we just stay where we are. My goodness, there's this. Okay, I'm gonna quote a Dermot Kennedy song, but actually, it's this one, Outnumbered. There's a Dermot Kennedy song called Outnumbered, and there's this line where he says, "I'll come for you if you just stay where you are." And it's like one of my favorite lines in all of his songs, because it reminds me of God's like prevenient grace, and the way that she just she will come and find us if we will just stay where we are. Sometimes we run to the next thing, or we desperately are seeking control. As I was mentioning earlier, we're constantly moving because we want some sense of refuge or peace or something. I'll come for you if you just stay where you are. Yeah. So this is what helped me this morning. I hope it's some kind of a word for you. I hope you'll stick around and stay tuned to our social media platforms this week. We've got a whole bunch of stuff going on at Foundry, and I'm really excited about it. I do want to plug our Pentecost boxes. So the discipleship department and family ministries department came together and partnered with a Sacred Home, the organization who helped us with our Lenten boxes for kids, and developed a Foundry specific resource that is intergenerational for all the people of Foundry. And it's an excellent box. And I'm so excited. I actually have them already, and I can tell you that it's going to be amazing. So I hope that you'll register for one of those. I think we have a limited quantity. So if you want to get one, you better go ahead and register. And yeah, it's been an honor to be with you today. And as always, good noon, everybody.